Hello, listeners, and welcome once again to Fate's Rest. Last time, our adventurers did some things and some other things, and I'll let them elaborate if they want.
Well, all of our cons, all of our shenanigans had succeeded, so there's that. And I got a hourglass of boon instead of hourglass of doom. I didn't want to steal all the thunder, so I figured somebody else could take over.
And I got myself a bag of holding that may or may not be an antique. And also convinced the God of Knowledge to give us a ride on his back as a dragon, despite him saying that that's not what he was going to do.
You'll be convinced as a god to bless an item, so that was pretty neat. Otherwise, she's kind of worrying about her friend, but off to an adventure we go.
Alright, so that's where we'll pick up, while y'all are flying on the back of the Gatekeeper's dragon form. And y'all are flying at breakneck speed. Everything's zooming past you, but you all seem to be in a little pocket of no motion. Like it's the smoothest ride ever for the three of you.
So I have a question. How many of us all saw what was in the bag, or has that been shared?
I'll say that everyone could have seen it. Or at least know of it at this point.
Okay. So, I guess, how accurate do you think somebody would be with that backpack if we threw it at somebody?
Well, I think that's certainly a fun idea.
Or
500 pounds of cast iron skillets.
we could just open up the backpack and rain down.
Oh, kind of like laying out a carpet?
Mm-hmm.
Carpet bomb.
You know, if we're doing that, she's gonna pull out her staff and kind of look at it and kind of turn it over in her hands and just... My new staff does give me a fun ability to double the size of those items and increase their weight significantly.
The moment
this
the
is
DM
excellent.
Realizes he fucked up.
And I don't have to touch them either. So my point is, if someone were to throw them or drop them as they're falling, I could then cast the spell and make them much larger.
Dear God, what have I done?
This should work perfectly, yes?
I think so. We could definitely use it to... open up the combat.
Or what if, before we get there, we make a pit stop and look for like a handful of bugs and put it in one of the pots?
Oh, we could throw giant bugs at her. That's brilliant.
So mean.
So mean, he says.
I
This
think
woman's killed people.
There's a drawback with putting bugs and all this stuff.
We have to clean them before using them.
Well, plus that a lot of them kind of, I mean, depending on what we're grabbing, can kind of fly. I guess if we use worms, but that's a lot of worms to have to load in there and then also throw. And
I think it's fine. We were going to spend 12 hours. We have time to kill. Hey, Gatekeeper.
Yeah. He did say we were about 3 hours. We're gonna just take 3 hours, so that's You'll be like starts using her fingers. I think that's 9 hours we have to collect worms.
Gatekeeper, could we make a pit stop, please?
Why?
We need to grab something from the ground.
Kind of like very wearily heads to the ground. What are we doing?
Well, you assisted us with a lot of extra weaponry, so
We're just making the most of it.
yeah, we're gonna make the most of this extra boon.
Yes.
Oh God, what have I done?
We just need to dig up some worms.
Yeah, that's all.
He lands, looks up at the sky. I did not do it, Fates. I swear, it was an accident.
It's just a little bit of pans and stuff on them at the where we're going. I mean, that worst case scenario, it doesn't hit anything, and we have, you know, a definite moment of chaos to jump into and help and start the fight off.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not saying
Yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna slide off and take at least one of the pots with me so I can start filling it with worms and dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Callie's gonna open her wings and go down to the ground, and it's gonna...
He lands pretty close to a creek, so there's bugs everywhere.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Gonna
Sounds
ask
like,
Phrynos to help me with moving the dirt around to find a lot of nice slimy worms.
Phryno seems overly excited about this.
Wonderful.
I too will ask Ray to help.
I'm just
Ray, not so much. She's like, I don't want to play in the dirt today.
Well, there's a creek right over there. Just spray the ground with water, and then it rains, and then the little wormy things come up.
She does as she's commanded.
Ta-da! See, look, you're not even playing in the dirt. When I find worms, I'm gonna put them in the pot.
Roll. What's a good roll for this? Survival. You're finding insects. I want a survival roll.
so I'm definitely doing this to find insects.
Because we
Punch
are...
in my mic stand.
Because we have help from various creatures to make it easy to roll about in the dirt and get worms. Do we get
There is
advantage?
advantage. Yes, everyone gets advantage.
Woohoo! My first roll was a 5, but I got an 18 with advantage.
I got a 19. My other roll was a 1, so...
Ooh.
Well, I rolled the minimum I could, which is 16. So because I have proficiency in survival.
Nice.
Well, between the three of you, you fill an entire stew pot full of earthworms.
Well, they also have some dirt, so they're not lonely and wormy.
Plus, they won't dry
Just
out
enough
if there's
to
dirt there.
offset it.
Yeah.
Just enough dirt to offset it.
Perfect.
But you can feel them wriggling around in the pot.
I love the evil Nakova laugh. That was great.
Well, the spell does specify that it bumps them up one size category. And I'm pretty sure earthworms are considered the tiny size category. So to be in the small size category, they're gonna have to be larger than 2.5 feet.
You're basically gonna drop
Gross.
a pan of little wormy snakes on top of them.
That's terrifying. That is 100% terrifying. I think even someone who's not afraid of insects would freak out about that.
Well, she
Well,
shouldn't have
gardener
picked a fight with
snake-sized
us.
Earthworms. Golly.
Alright. You've gathered your worms, and the very defeated sounding gatekeeper is. Are you done yet?
Oh yes, I think this is quite enough.
Yes.
I do want to say, if you get me within 30 feet of the demigod one, I can make sure that I can do my best to make sure that pan hits her.
Would you more just smack her with the pan as well?
Well, no, basically you dump the whole pan of all the worms on top of her, so it just pan and worms, and it's just no fun for anybody involved in that situation, except me.
She just perishes instantly.
Because I have True Strike.
The only time that would ever happen.
Right? The one time True Strike comes in handy.
Right.
Seems as though we have an
So you
opening
take off into
an opening attack plan.
you take to the skies once again, and you are moving at a pretty good speed, make up time. And after a bit, the forest that you've been walking, or you've been flying over, begins to clear out and open up. And there's this massive clearing, kind of like a meadow, where there's a makeshift camp. Some thrown together huts with no doors. There's a couple of just, they don't even look like cages, they're just sticks with cord wrapped around them. There's just a few people milling about. They all look like they're covered in the corruption. And you see in one of these little makeshift cages, wrapped in some kind of glowing rope or twine, is a very familiar goblin.
Do we see
Three amigos?
Yes, them.
The three amigos. For specifics other than what I gave you, give me perception checks, please.
Still daytime? Oh yeah, we started in the
It
morning.
is noon. It is about noon.
11.
17.
11, 17.
I got where's my perception? 15.
15. Alright, well, the 17 and the 15 are high enough. The 11, I'm pretty sure you'll be zoomed in on Dizzy, and that's about all they see.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas the other two, they see the swordsman kind of milling about, every now and then interacting with the other people in the camp. And they see the taller woman, the one that was missing last time, kind of sitting on a wagon near where the camp starts. Just kind of looking off into the forest. But the child is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, just gonna
Okay, so
save
we
that
hold-
pan for later.
Yep.
I can lift the cage, most probably. It doesn't seem to be attached to the ground. What I'm saying is I could pull him up here to us. Which would probably get the attention of everybody, so if that's what we want to do for our opening move, we can, but otherwise...
So, is there more prisoners on the ground, or just the one we saw was Dizzy?
The only one you can see is Dizzy. There's a few of those cage-looking things, though.
So there's a few of the cage-looking things, but they're empty from what we can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there's exactly 4 more of those cages.
That's awkward.
Squint.
There's exactly 4 of us coming into this fray.
Alright. Some ideas. I can cast a large spell that will do damage across the whole field, and I can choose to exclude certain creatures from it. Or I can lift that cage and see if we can get the gatekeeper to catch it. I can't lift it. Well, I can lift it about 30 feet up, so. Those are the things I can do.
How
as
do
an
we
opening
know
move.
that's not a trap? Actually, it looks very much like a trap.
Yeah, I think we should avoid that cage when we drop and just drop all these pans. Minus the worm one.
That sounds fair to me. Gatekeeper. Can you... I know most, or many divine creatures have the ability to see things as they are. Can you verify if that is Jack?
He looks down at the camp. They kind of see him squint with his big old dragon eyes. He says, "That indeed looks like Jack. His very interesting aura is kind of unique. Though there seems to be something amiss with the rest. I can't tell anything else apart. It's all got a shade of corruption on it."
Definitely sounds like a trap then. Alright, pots and pans idea first.
I figure that's a good opening salvo, and then we can get into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Wonderful. So,
The day the DM feels bad for the bad guys.
Well, you equipped us with the pots and pans.
You did indeed give us 500 pounds of pots and pans, so...
And I'm always telling you to think outside the box. It's my own fault. 100% my own fault.
so DM,
Well, it's
if you
like-
want to go ahead and start calculating what damage that might possibly cause from whatever distance up we are, the spell does multiply its weight by 8.
Oh, Jesus.
And those are, dear God, those are cast iron skillets and shit.
The size doubles in all dimensions, and its weight multiplies by 8. And that's just read straight off of the enlarge reduce spell.
So essentially, minus about 1.5 pounds for the boiling pot with all the worms in it. So I don't think you're throwing
No,
that
not
yet,
yet.
are you? So essentially, I'm gonna do some math. I'm probably gonna need to roll some dexterity saves because that's gonna hurt.
Well, I would like to cast aid on the 3 of us.
I totally know what that does, but just in case, listeners don't.
Yeah. So, aid is a spell that bolsters your allies with toughness and resolve. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration, which is 8 hours.
Oh, nice.
And I'm casting it at 2nd level. So really it's just 5.
Cool.
But 5 extra hit points is 5 extra hit points.
Oh, hey, D&D Beyond now has
It is.
a
Adds up.
place to put temporary max HP modifiers. Nice.
Alright.
I'm Yes, 100%.
So you.
This should be welcome to the pan train.
All right. So, I think with your combined efforts, what is Callie's spell modifier?
My spell modifier?
I am going to use that to calculate a dexterity save that these people on the ground are going to have to make.
Oh, well,
'Cause if they get hit,
well,
they're
my
dead.
my spell save DC is 17. If that helps, my spell attack bonus is 11.
That's not one. Okay, 11. Okay. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. I forgot your level.
Well, also this staff specifically boosts those things for me, and I'm using the staff to cast this spell. So
here goes 15 d20s. 14 d20s. Alright. So, of the 15 people on the ground that you were dropping shit on, 6 of them saved. And because this is an improvised attack, I will say this is save or suck on the damage. And these are all instant death things. So you just squished like 9 people
So,
with skillets.
so we're talking. You said 500 pounds. I need to figure out how many pounds this is.
I mean, it's like the cast iron gear, so it's a lot. It's almost 4,000 pounds of weight you just dropped in out of the air. You're essentially dropping boulders out of the sky.
it's just a homemade meteor swarm attack. It's fine.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Don't need no 9-level spells.
I assume this is
I'm gonna
definitely
say-
the point at which they realize we're there and we gotta roll some initiatives.
Yes, I also will give all 3 of you inspiration for that because that was glorious.
It'd also be some hellacious racket when all those pants are hitting the ground.
Oh, they're hitting with thuds. They're hitting dirt, and there's not like rocks.
Well, I mean,
that you
if
round. They're
anybody was
hitting
wearing metal
dirt
armor and
and
that thing comes
people.
down on them, it's gonna make a hellacious racket as it just.
I will tell you this: tall girl who was absent last time did not survive. She actually nat failed.
Oh no.
So that failed. She took 2 of them.
Oh, goodbye.
You kind of dropped.
It's worth noting that shortly after they fall, I am going to dismiss the spell because it's concentration, and I'm not going to waste my concentration on keeping these large pans large. But
For no reason.
yeah,
you dismiss it, and there's still a lid falling, and it kind of just bonks off someone's helmet. The hell? Some guy runs off. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
and so are all your allies.
That's what happens when you don't pay the cook.
And I'm gonna need the 3 of you to roll initiative because you're officially in combat.
No, you don't say.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I had an inspiration before you awarded us another inspiration. Could I use my old inspiration and keep the new one to help with the initiative roll?
You sure can.
Not much better, but it was better than before. That will be a 13 for Yulby.
We got 21.
11.
So, first up will be the 21. As I will say this, you will get, again, call and response is free actions. And before combat fully starts, you will hear, all three of you will hear the gatekeeper explain. Do we land or keep fighting from the sky? I will leave it up to you.
How high up are we?
About, I'm going to say, he's probably flying just out of range of their bows, so probably like 100 feet, 120 feet.
I have spells that can reach from here, so it's kind of up to the two of you.
I imagine Yulby's already like mid-jump off of him to like take the use her cloak for wings.
I don't have that kind of range.
So get a bit closer, but stay in the air for now.
I can focus on defense if you want to keep attacking.
That works.
It might get bumpy, and he kind of like nose dives. Gets to about 60, between 60 and 90 feet away.
Yeah, because my longest range spell is 90 feet, so
Is this about right?
that'll work.
I can also
Alright.
give you wings if you need me
Now.
to.
Now it's Fritz's turn.
Okay,
Or Sig, whatever one's in charge.
it would be Fritz. He's still Orc Boy.
Still work away.
So,
As far as you can tell, there's 6 people on the ground ready to fight.
human swordsman survived, right?
Yes.
So I want to target him with a chromatic orb, please. Thank you.
Chromatic orb.
Second level chromatic orb.
Could you explain what that spell does? I don't think you've used that. in
I have not used it very much at all. It both in this game and out of this game and every other game I've ever used it. I've only used it like 3 times. You hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature that you can see within range. You choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder for the type of orb you create, and then make a ranged spell attack against that target. If they hit, because I upcasted level 2, they take 4d8 of whatever element I chose. So I just basically throw a glob of an elemental. I just throw an elemental glob at them.
Okay.
And I would like to use. What kind of gear does he wear again?
It's like kind of like that breakaway scale mail stuff.
Oh, so metal. So I'm gonna go with lightning.
Okay.
And that is a total of 24 to hit.
I'm gonna say that hits. It's just above his shield reaction.
So he's gonna take this glob of lightning that just comes out of the sky and just smacks him, and I need to get 4d8s out. I can't get 4d8s out, my cat won't let me. So I'll have to roll it in the D&D Beyond. So that's 14 lightning damage to him. Please and thank you.
Kind of looks up at the sky. Kind of shrugs off the sparks of lightning. He grins.
And that would be
Right.
Yes. I don't have any fun bonus actions I can do from this guy. Actually, wait. Was he aware of me when I did this attack?
I'm pretty sure he was aware of all of you because of the pots and pans.
But was he aware of me specifically? Because as a rogue, I have sneak attack.
You don't have sneak attack for that.
Very
tried.
not sneaky.
I don't think y'all could be sneaky right now if y'all tried.
Bet.
Alright. Next up is one of the henchmen that survived the panicking.
The pandemic.
He's going to take a couple shots with his bow, which completely whiff and miss the dragon, which that's sad. It's a big target. Next up is who had the 13 again?
You'll
Gilby's up.
cool.
I wrote down the numbers. I didn't write down the letters, which is my bad.
I imagine it will take an action for my wings to activate. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Oh wait, no. Fly on your cloak is bonus action.
oh. Well, shit. Well, I'm gonna use that, and
Mm-hmm.
my question is, I haven't used it. What's my movement speed with this fly?
It's the same as what it would be if Callie were to cast fly
60
on you.
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do I have enough from where we are to where Dizzy Jack's cage is?
I say Digijack's cage. If y'all are circling around, I'm thinking in your turn, you could probably get within range of it. Yes.
That's where I want to go. Just
That's where you want to go.
just wave goodbye to Callie and then dive right on off with wings coming out. And because it's her cloak, I like to imagine, because the magic always takes a different form depending on what it is, and that's what the gatekeeper said. I like to think that it's usually the wings that she likes projecting with these things. So like the giant, fluffy, feathery white wings. But it, like, comes from the cloak, like the cloak changes form just a little bit to become the wings.
So what I'll say is, as you summon the wings this time, the wings that normally appear. However, the cloak becomes a type of armor across the edges of the wings.
Oh, neat.
So you have like these wyvern scale plates along the bones of the wing.
Okay, first
That's
of all,
pretty neat.
That's awesome.
With little spikes and everything on it. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Very
Yeah, and then she'll do some cool diving down motions with the wings to get as close as she can get. And is he tied up by, like, there's a wrap around his mouth so he can talk, or is he, like, free to talk?
Oh, he's free to talk. So as you get close to him, you'll notice that this golden rope or twine or whatever it is glowing, sort of.
Uh-huh.
And he's kind of just sitting there cross-legged on the ground.
Uh-huh.
The cage just kind of falls over as you touch it.
Well,
Hi.
hi, where's Ruby?
The scary little one? I haven't seen her in like 3 days.
She'll nod, and then she's gonna about ready to fight anybody that comes close to her. Axe in hand. And I would like to ready in action.
Ready in action? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a swing.
Swing at whoever comes near
Yeah.
you? Gotcha. I will tell you this, since you're closest to the ground, a pan fell 3 feet from the cage that Jack is in, or Dizzy Jack is in. It's just a big old crater
Like
right
a
there.
crater with a small pan in the middle.
I mean, he is the god of luck.
By the way, that was terrifying.
Hey, yeah, the gatekeeper gave us a whole bunch of pans.
And you've readied your action. Next up are 2 of the henchmen, which are too far away from Gilby to get within range. So they start heading that direction. They're both wielding swords. And then next up is nearsighted boy, farsighted boy, whatever it was. He's sitting there watching the gatekeeper circle, keeping his eyes directly on Zug or Sig, Fritz, whoever's in charge. And he kind of jumps on the back of the dragon.
It's not where you would be.
Well. I think before his turn ends, he's going to draw his sword and summon a 3-foot tall black cube slime. You all know his shade.
Fade.
Fade, right? I named it and I forgot the name.
At least you had the right rhyming.
Yeah, you're close.
This is true. Ruby said you would eventually show up for that little nincompoop down there.
Nah, I don't really like him that much.
And next up is Callie.
Cool beans. I have to decide between 2 courses of action real fast.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get up here? Did he just jump?
Kind of like a teleport type thing, like he did before,
Yes.
where he like
I guess what I'm saying is,
really, really fast.
watching him get up here, I would not assume he has a flying speed. Cool.
He does not.
Kelly is going to touch her companion here and cast Fly.
Jeez.
And is then going to open her own wings, because that's a bonus action for her, and call down to the gatekeeper, just, you want to shake him off? As she hops off herself.
Gatekeeper grins. He kind of like takes a really big flap, and it is now his turn. As you two leave his back, he takes this really big flap and he launches himself high into the sky. You kind of like get pushed out of the way from the gust of wind from his wings. And you just hear him laughing maniacally as he begins to barrel roll and dive back down.
Amazing.
So this guy needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Well, that's not going to end well for him. That'd be a nat 1.
Oh no.
Even with his +7 modifier for dexterity saving throws, he did not do well there.
That's what you get, a-hole.
But just before the gatekeeper hits the ground, he pulls up, comes down, and his feet touch the ground. And you see this guy just hit the ground like a bag of potatoes.
Oh no.
So what's that fall damage there?
It was 90 feet up, so ouch.
It might have been more.
No,
Gatekeeper went up.
That's
He went
true,
up.
that's true. And how high up he went before he fell off, that's fair. I mean, it started at 90 feet, so I mean...
And oof, you can't tell if he's dead or alive. Let's put it
He's
that way.
dazed at the
You
least.
don't see any blood from the splat. There's no blood from the splat, but you don't know if he's dead or alive. And we've got one more minion who is now moving within range of Gilby. Or at least his melee range, because he has a spear. Does your battle axe have reach? I can't remember.
I don't think it has reach. Give me a sec.
At the risk of being that guy who reminds the teacher that we have homework, there should be 2 goons left.
I know what I said.
Okay.
I said last minion.
Squint.
No, it's only got a 5-foot reach.
5 foot. Okay. So this guy's just out of the reach of your battle axe. He kind of takes a stab at you with his little rinky-dink spear, and I'm pretty sure a 12 does not hit.
Oh no. It just kind of glances off.
He looks kind of at his spear, and then back at Yulby, and then at his spear again, and sighs. And lastly, because she nat 1 her initiative roll, you will see, kind of appearing out of thin air, a very small little 2-tailed girl. She's looking around
Pulls out a pot full of worms.
at all the... She's looking around at all the carnage. She pulls out this wand, points it at the gatekeeper, and says, "Stop." The gatekeeper immediately freezes in place. You no longer hear any sound coming from him, no movement, nothing. And that is her turn. And we're back at the top of the order.
So me?
Yes.
Alright, so is this demigod within 120 feet of my now flying form?
She's like in the middle of the battlefield, so yeah.
So I'd like for her to make a... I would have first get some bonus stuff here. Flip the hourglass.
Oh. Everybody freezes.
And
15 seconds of no movement.
switch personalities for a spell.
Okay.
That spell
What is said spell?
would be 4th level Phantasmal Killer.
Oh.
So she needs to make a Wisdom saving throw. Of a 15.
What about 22?
That's not right.
She has a +9 to wisdom saving throws. I don't know what to tell you. What does this do?
Well, it's does it do half damage on the save? Let me check. Tap into the nightmare of the creature you can see within range. Illusionary manifestation of its deepest fears, visible only to that creature. Make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save and become frightened for the duration. At the end of the turns, at the end of each of its turn, before the spell ends, target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage on a successful save. The spell ends. So it's save or suck, which is really garbage for a 5th level spell.
Oof. That is kind of garbage for a 5th level spell. It's a waste of a spell slot.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, I have 15 seconds of time slow. So
yes, it essentially gives you, what, 1 extra action?
It'd be like 2...
Yeah, that's nearly 3 rounds.
That's almost 3 turns.
Nearly 3 rounds? Okay, there you go. You got 3 extra actions. And you've done 1.
Okay, then how about a dex saving throw?
Dex save. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to watch your deck save when time is frozen.
Right?
It's going to be an auto fail, so just whatever damage rolls.
Okay, so, so I will, my character will say the celestial word for fire, and flames will wreath the creature I can see within range. They will take 8d6 fire damage on a failed save, and they will burn for the spell's duration, and shed bright light in 30-foot radius and dim light for additional 30 feet. At the end of each of its turns, it can repeat the saving throw. Takes 4d6 on a failed save, and it ends on a successful save. So, first round of damage is 32 damage.
32. Okay. It's not game breaker, but it's a lot.
Well, it's good. She's gonna auto fail the second. So I assume auto fail. A new action. So my last action. I'd like my last action to. Where's that spell at? So my last action, I would like to dimension door over to our. That's not dimension door. So I will switch personality in the spell, so I won't switch personalities at this moment in time. Ha!
We got 1
I know,
action.
I have too many.
Time's a ticking.
Let's just give a nice cantrip of chill touch. Just call it good.
Okay.
So that is a natural 20 to hit.
Yeah, it is. Fucking max damage.
Right? So it's 3d8 base
God.
plus my 3d8 10. So 16, 24, 34. Please and thank you.
34 necrotic damage, right? Oof. Oof, that's a lot of life loss.
A lot of ouchies.
Yeah.
And then she has to pass a save or she's gonna burn again.
That's at the end of her
Yeah,
turn.
it's the end of her turn. She has to do another save.
Okay. Alright, and is that your 3 free
I have my
actions?
3 actions.
And your time runs out. And all of this happens at once. green, slimy hand smacks this child upside the face as she sits on fire.
I shouldn't laugh at this mental image, but it's great.
And when you switched over to Sig, now that you're in full real time again, when you were flying before, you didn't have wings because of Fritz. When you switch over to Sig, it's his wings. And one of the henchmen who shot an arrow earlier now has better shot. It's going to loose another arrow. At this time, it's going to be at Callie. You got the luck of the draw there, but I don't think an 11 hits, does it?
For who? Ah,
Callie.
no, an 11 doesn't hit.
I didn't think so. Of the three of you, you're the squishiest, and 11 still doesn't hit
I
you.
feel like she just kind of lean dodges out of the way. She's flying, so it's just like really easy to just maneuver.
Next up is Gilby.
Cool. I'd like to bonus action cast a spell.
Yep.
And have Wrathful Smite at what level is this? First level.
Okay.
And so the next time she hits with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, it deals an extra 1d6 psychic damage. Additionally, if the target is a creature, it must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you until the spell ends. As an action, the creature can make a wisdom check against your spell save DC to steal its resolve and end this spell.
Alright. And that's an effect added to your attack, correct? Because it's a smite?
Yes.
Okay. You've got 3 guys that you can possibly get into range of to melee attack.
I'm going to go with the spear dude, because he's right here with a spear pokey.
It's fair.
And I'm just gonna go for it.
Go for it.
A 12.
12. God. You know, it hits.
It hits?
You hit the one with the least amount of armor.
I was like, well, that 12 probably misses. No, he had a shitty armor. Okay.
So, as you hit it, one of the effects of your axe kicks in, first of all. And it kind of makes the ding noise, and a gold coin drops to the ground.
Ooh. Cool. 1 second. Gotta write down I get 1 gold coin. Okay. Do you want all the attacks first, or the attacks and damage?
It hits, so just give... I mean, I thought it was just 1 attack.
No, I get 2 attack actions per turn.
Do all of the attacks if you're attacking the same person, and then give me the damage afterwards.
Okay.
Attacks first and then damage after.
Okay. The next one's a 24.
That definitely hits.
Cool beans.
By a lot.
Okay. But I'm rolling low. Okay, that is 11 slashing damage. Cheesy peeps. Okay, for Wrathful Smite, I got 1 each time, but he has to make the Wisdom DC 17 save.
He doesn't save.
Oh, he's definitely scared of her now. But that was two psychic damage, and because because we leveled up, Yulby got a cool thing where she has improved Divine Smite. Because it just happens because her magical weapon is very magical now. And the target just takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. And that will be 7 radiant damage on top of that.
So, was that total of 20 damage total?
11
slashing, 2 psychic, and 7 radiant?
Yes.
20 damage total. Doesn't look too great.
Nice.
But he is still standing. He's also terrified.
Yep.
Doesn't he? He's got the frightened condition now, right? It means he's got to run
Yep.
away. Okay.
And I think...
So he's going to bolt 30 feet in the opposite direction.
Beautiful. That's it.
Alright. And we're going to do the next two guys. These two guys move within range of Yulby. Got melee range. Got two guys within attacking distance here. And they're both going to take a swing. I could not do that again if I tried. Both dice landed on an 18. So that makes 21 and 21.
Are they both hit?
They both hit? Okay. Let's see. I need this dice. Okay. And you've got, from both attacks, a total of 11 slashing damage. And... you know, that's it. 11 slashing damage total. These guys don't do much. So other minions. Next up is Mr. Sack of Potatoes. Don't really see much movement out of him. You do see the slime slowly starting to pull off of him, almost like it was a protective layer around him. And beginning to take shape right next to him. And that is his turn. So, Callie, you're up.
Cool. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to position myself closer to Ruby, but not quite like directly above her, just kind of like fly in that general direction a little bit. No lower.
Yeah.
I'm still like 90 feet above her.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a better use of my action in that I'm going to try to cast Dispel Magic on whatever the heck is affecting the Gatekeeper.
Oh.
So,
Please explain everyone.
yeah, I assume it's not a spell of third level or lower. A spell or effect of third level or lower. If it was, it would be automatically dispelled. Otherwise, I need to make an ability check using my spellcasting ability. So,
It is definitely above a third level.
yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast, like, spend the charges on that.
Yep,
And
yep.
I do get an automatic +2 because of the staff. Let's see what that ends up at. 24. So the DC, it says, is 10 plus the spell's level.
10 plus the spell's level. Okay.
So,
I mean, you dispel it.
awesome.
It counters all. 24 counters all spells at that point.
Cool. So she's going to use her staff and dispel the magic on him. And then I'm going to be prepped to drop the worms, but I don't have the action economy left to be able to do that this turn. So.
Okay, so that's your turn. Alright. Next up would be the gatekeeper. And he kind of flaps his wings. Cracks his neck. Turns to y'all. Looks at Ruby. He's like, "You dare to hold a god?" And he's just going to kind of just step down on top of her.
She is still on fire, so there
That's
is
fine.
that.
I don't even think he can kill her. with
I'm just
this
letting
step.
you know that his foot might get a little singed.
I mean, to say she's on fire is understatement. She's completely wreathed in flames.
She's a bonfire.
To be shedding that much light, I mean, 60 feet of light off of this fire, that's a lot of fire.
So, he definitely hits. Does a significant amount of damage here. And now he lifts his foot up. She's kind of laying on the ground, still on fire. And there's now a footprint around her. Impetuous child. And that is his turn. Next up are the spear minion, who kind of feels out of place at this fight as he runs off because he had to. And he's going to break his wisdom save. Does a 7 beat the save to end the fear spell?
A 7?
Yes.
No.
Didn't think so. He's still running.
There will be a point where he just runs out and I guess, take the entire action and run 60 feet now? He's just gonna leave combat and he's no longer in combat.
Yeah, he just keeps running. I think even when he's out of the spell's range, he just keeps running. He's like, "Nope, I'm done. I'm leaving."
I'm super outclassed for this. I'm out.
They dropped frying pans. They brought a dragon. This is just not fair. I'm leaving. And next up is Ruby, who is lying on the ground on fire. And she fails her save, so she stays on fire, takes more damage.
Sweet. So she's going to take another 46. So that is another 12 fire damage. Please and thank you.
Another 12 fire damage. Right. And she still doesn't look worn out yet. She is on fire, and she is struggling to get to her feet because she was just crushed by a dragon. But she doesn't look like she's ready to throw in the towel yet. She kind of looks mad, honestly. That is her turn, and right here is where we will end it for the night.
Just as a confirmation, as I understand, at this point she would no longer be on fire. Yes.
No, she has to pass the save.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
she
lasts
failed it.
until she passes?
It lasts for the concentration duration, which is 1 minute, unless she passes.
Okay, cool. I have a spell that is affected by fire, and I just want to keep that in mind whenever I'm choosing to cast that. So, thanks.
Gotcha. Yep, yeah, so 1 minute concentration, so 10 rounds based, and it's only been 1? No. 10. Yeah, 10 rounds, it's only been 1, so.
Yep.
Cool. Good to know. Thanks.
We're ending it as she struggles to her feet, still on fire, still ridiculously on fire.
Pot of worms above her head.
Callie with a pot of worms.
Does
So
she get
the
to say anything as we conclude out?
She does not say anything.
Oh, she just looking pissed.
She just looks
She's just
pissed.
mad. she's pretty flaming mad.
You can see the fire
Actually-
burning in her eyes, literally.
Right? There's actually a really great thing too. Not only is that circle of 30-foot bright light and the 30-foot dim light outside of that, if the damage from the spell kills the target turns into a pile of ash.
That's cool.
They cannot be extinguished by non-magical means. So they're magical fire.
Oh, jeez.
It's a really sweet spell.
Yeah.
My
Very
next
neat.
spell is even more fun that I have planned for.
You have thrown the whole ambush party into like chaos. So.
You mean we throw them into pandemonium?
And so it starts. All right.
So,
Let's do the
so you
thing.
could almost say that she's out of the frying pan and into the fire.
You set that joke up, didn't you, Silver?
Yes! I'm glad somebody picked up on it. Oh, jeez. So yes, we will start with the how many pans does it take to never mind. Please rate and review the episode. You know, let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. Laugh at the horrible feeling of the DM realizing that he well and truly screwed up and gave us something that was a really big weapon after he's like, oh yeah, think outside the box. We're like, all right, frying pans, that's outside the box, right?
And hop on over to our Discord, and you can use that opportunity to complain at Tex for never cutting out anything he says that he's gonna cut out.
You know, the camp.
And we'll see you there, and I'll be there alongside you, and we can all take up arms.
Pick up the pan.
Or you can take up your phone or computer, whatever, and check out our socials at Fates Rest on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Please pander to us.
Oh my god.
And lastly, as always, leave you with the topic of the week. This time, my fellow DMs, I want to know about the times your parties have completely thrown your combat plans completely into chaos. I want to know about those because every DM has those points. Everybody does.
I also think a really fun one too. Please, in that example, let us know if it was a self-inflicted mistake that caused everything to go into absolute chaos like this was, or if it was completely accidental that you didn't even know it was going to happen.
What's funny is we were just talking about how Zug and Callie could do crowd control for spells, but we got rid of most of the crowd.
You could say that for Tex. Nothing went according to Pan.
I mean, we're getting ready for a pan of worms here in the near future, so.
As always, we love you.
Love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Love you, bye! They should just put a lid on it now.